So yeah, sorry. Yeah, you watch a professional NBA small forward for a few games. And just to see how they do it. Um, yeah, and also maybe just seek inspiration or you know yeah, and it's also in a competitive environment. Um, then also I would recommend him to do training sessions with cones on a court. So he could only go in the area where the cones are set out, just to stop him from going all over the place to an extent. Um, and then also I would encourage him to maybe do it in a competitive game and record it. So in case of as in the first part where I said about they may not believe what you're saying, so doing it in a competitive game and then recording it. Um, just to show them what they're doing wrong, rather than them being in denial about thinking that they're doing it fine. Um, Showing them the recording could be quite important. Um, yeah, for their improvement. 6.2 was just to improve the box out rebound technique. Um, so in the earlier images, it showed that he made a few mistakes, which I'd like to rectify. Um, so this is obviously comparing it to Blake Griffin, the professional. Um, so firstly, the first mistake I saw him make was when he went. Obviously, the feed, so off the backboard, sorry, wasn't as great, so it bounced before he got there. So maybe improving his starting position to be prepared for that um, could be important. But I think I'd focus on was most important was he didn't catch it at the height of the ball, so it would be quite easy for someone to just reach above him and catch it before them, which isn't as positive. Um, yeah. So for this, I would encourage him to um, do the box out technique twice a week, 5 times each time, and then also, once he's done that, he could use a mannequin or a friend to play the opposition, just to give it a game situation. And then also, I would make him go into a game, try and get as many rebounds as possible, um, just to see and get him used to doing it in a game situation, which is quite important. And yeah, doing it in a game situation is very important. Um, as it is with a real opposition and it's more competitive. Yeah, and getting to the maximum height, so the height of his jump is quite important. So for 6.3, this is similar to the box out, but it can be used on different areas of the pit or on the court. Sorry. So yeah, to improve his time in the air. Um, so this is at basketball. It's important for something like a tip off at the start. So he's in the air for the longer, for longer, to or to beat his opponent in a box out aerial battle or just an attacking rebound to maybe score his team some points. So I would recommend him to do some plyometrics, which is jumping exercises in short intervals to get used to exerting a maximum force. But I would encourage him to try and get a bigger height on each jump, um, so it can increase his time in the air. This is because when competing to catch the ball in the air, you need to get as high as possible um, to beat the opponent. So this could be practiced. So throwing the ball just in the air and then catching it for himself, um, or maybe having you doing it with a friend and just competing for the same ball. But plyometrics would be very important for his muscle fibers getting used to it. But also for him to get used to jumping to his maximum height. Um, yeah, and to catch the ball as high as possible is really important.